Hey everybody, welcome to a new series. This is Roadwarden. It dropped onto Steam yesterday. Unfortunately, I overslept slightly, so I missed my recording slot for this, so here I am today recording it just a day later than I planned. So far, though, the reviews have come in for it have been positive, and I looked at it early on and it looked really cool, so I thought, you know, we have to check this out. It's developed by Moral Anxiety Studio and published by Assemble Entertainment, and this is a text-based RPG. It's like a choose-your-own adventure, and I believe it's almost like it's like a fantasy western almost setting. I think like a grim world. I think that's the type of thing. Like we're wandering through the barren lands. But anyway, enough talking. Let's try and figure out what is, you know, actually going on here. We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. Enter. Okay, this is the title, Roadwarden. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and, if possible, get rid of beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job but a respectable one, and it pays well. I can either have my doubts or we'll leave the safety of the city walls. We're going to leave the safety of these city walls. Okay, please select the difficulty mode. This choice cannot be altered later on. Casual. For those focused on the story, there's no time limit. You get more cash at the start, and some quests are more forgiving. Standard. For those familiar with RPGs, 40-day time limit, regular rule set. And restricted, for those returning Roadwardens, 30-day limit and increased nighttime damage. I don't normally do this, but I might put this on casual. I normally in these types of adventures where, you know, there is like a death and you maybe go back to the beginning again. Typical fucking RPG thing. I'm thinking of like, you know, fighting fantasy novels. I liked it to be, you know, one and done. If I die, that's the end of the series. That was our story. That was our Roadwarden story. I'll put it on casual though, because I've not played a game like this before. Honestly, I'm trying to think when I last played a game like this. And I can't think of it, so that's how long ago it is. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. Just 1 second, sorry. Let me just pull this back down a little bit, so you can, you know, actually hear me. There we go. Oh, it has deaf support as well. Oh, cool. Anything that, you know, improves accessibility is always welcome in games like this. First bonus star to the game. Anyway, this should be the place you're looking for. You are supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labour. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk nor trolls, and the night is near. Your palfrey breast heavy. It had a long day. I could just look around for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. Dismount and sneak to the gate, let's peek inside, or I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. I think this is silly. Don't run into the camp without, you know, any knowledge of what's going on in here. I think looking for another shelter would be foolhardy. Clearly my palfrey is breathing heavily, they're tired, they need a rest. I probably need a rest too. So I don't think this is a good option. The middle two, I think, are fairly similar. I assume this means I come in. Is a palfrey just a horse, by the way? Immediately, the first page I'm Googling. Palfrey. Type of horse, I thought it was. Yeah, I assume this means we go in on horseback. I think we'll dismount and sneak to the gate. Your heavy boots hit the ground and the pain of the long ride finally catches up to you. You stretch out, bringing your backs and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. Honestly, these all sound delicious. I want all of these things. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate slowly. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Understood. We have 3 or 4 vitality, and it's 30 minutes before dusk. Okay. I have a sundial on my wrist or something. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking at different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognise the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbour. I could just look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. Or they don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. Let's stay cautious. The people inside the camp didn't even notice the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley. But you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail is a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. Okay. I have to make the decision. Do we look for another shelter, or it doesn't look too much of a threat? Considering they don't seem to have any security, I'm going to assume that something has happened here, and maybe these are the, possibly the survivors or something, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they've had such a great, pillaging that they got drunk and they're just chilled out now. But let's go. I think we have to enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hands. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. Take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are wary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part. Though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I'll let them speak first. It's nice to see an unarmed traveller in this godforsaken shithole. Makes me a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armoured woman. Her moment switches from half asleep to relaxed. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take the first watch, it will be a huge help. Travellers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment to fully rest you need a good sleep. You know what? I am the guest in your little camp. You look like you've gone through a hard time too. I've gone through a hard time. We're going to get sleep eventually, but sure, give me the first watch. Fantastic! She rubs her hands together. Oh, I don't remember the last time I had more than half a night to sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up. Just yell. He drinks from his mug. Ask him about the lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Be friendly, supportive and cordial. Playful, use a joke or witty comment. Distanced, hide your emotions. Intimidating, hint at a threat or vulnerable. Be sad, tired, afraid or hopeless. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of these attitudes. Oh, really cool. You know what? Let's just be friendly. I think that is the simplest option. The simplest option is always the best one. Or at least often the best one. I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? The woman lets out loud sighs, dusts off her gambeson, and steps toward you. She pays a little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I. Though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forwards. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring the beasts here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. And Julia, by the way. She reaches out a hand. We can either shake a hand and say I'm, or it may be a trap. I gesture for her to stop, pretending to be embarrassed. I should wash myself first, but you can call me... No, we'll shake a hand. I trust Julia. No, we're not going to be called Leto. We are Andalona. Her grasp is confident. The shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need it to smell of stung. Ah, there's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem, I enjoy observing the stars, or I should get used to sleeping on the ground anyway. You know what? We be positive about this. We enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but it's also bulky. As heavy it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you would also be lost. It's my only companion here. I want it to feel at ease. I don't care how it feels, but I need it to be strong if I wanted to travel, and I can't afford another one. Let's try and make it feel at ease. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. I don't like the fact we're calling it. Can we give this horse a name, please, at some point? Humans see useful animals, and even pets, as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. Ooh. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left. But maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions, essential for your trade. So I think this is where we pick about the classes. So I guess this is us picking a class. We can be a fighter, a mage, or a scholar. So the fighter. I spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Mage. I have talismans that help me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and worn gambeson. Scholar. I carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gambeson, and a healing potion. Okay, next to Google. What is a gambeson? Is it a weapon? Like a gun? Oh, it's a defensive jacket. Oh, I didn't know that's what these were called. I know what these are. Okay, sure. I was hoping that every one of them had a gun. But clearly they don't. Alright. Well, I think, first of all, let's narrow it down. I think I'm not going to be the fighter. It seems a little bit dull to me. Probably reliable. Easy to imagine what things you can do. But I want something a little bit more fantastical. Normally I would go with mage here. You know, that's going to be fun using spells. Could get you out of a real tight bind. I am kind of intrigued by the scholar though. The alchemical ingredient aspect of it. And I get a healing potion. And I can also learn more. You know what? Let's learn more. As a fighter, you'll have easy time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment. Oh my god. And hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than other classes. What opens unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners. This fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vitality points drop to 0. The mage uses Pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage, you'll be able to heal faster while resting, detect magic in a mysterious area, distract a beast with a simple trick, and find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's powers too freely will result in having no Pneuma left when you need it the most. And finally, the Scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. I love the background for this. This is really well written. I think I'm going to go with a Scholar. Normally I would pick Mage. Let's be a little bit different. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. Right, let's look at my inv. So we have 2 food rations, a healing potion, a pouch with 10 gold pennies, a gambeson, if I just waited a little bit longer, alchemical ingredients, the travel set, and writing instruments. Most Northerners are illiterate, are you? But they're happy to meet someone who can write a letter in their name. Oh, okay. And then we have got a battle axe. Cool. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can fix it in various settlements. Okay. I return back to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of the wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at its previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. Join them and take a meal. Thank them for the meal, but I don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Julia what she can tell me about this area. Or I completely ignore the meal and I sit down and speak with Julia. No, we're going to join in. We're a friendly person. That was my attitude. It's cold gruel. My favourite. The meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Alright, doesn't sound great, but could be worse. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to the other, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, and speak with Julia. Okay. Nourishment has gone up to 3. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including your previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds a companion. Any piece of information that may help me do my job? The man leans forward with his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant, or what I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. You know what? We have to, keep our cards close to our chest here. You think how unprepared you are for this task. Since this area is too far away from Hovlavan to keep it under control, you are warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. It's a place of both danger and opportunity. A great realm to spend the rest of the summer. Actually, I prefer it to keep it that way, says Julia. The less you tell us, the smaller the chance that the commanders will send us here again. There's bitterness in the brief laughter. I'm fine with a soldier's life, I just hope to find an outpost where I won't have to bid farewell to most people I know. You know what? It's understandable. Oh my god. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Please don't do the, oh fuck, I can't remember the movie now! The one where she keeps crossing her legs and she's not wearing underwear. What's it called? Anyway, I hope she's not doing that to me, or maybe I'm hoping she is doing that to me. I'm lonely. Maybe I'm desperate. maybe I like the view. Anyway, enough lewd talk. What should I know about the peninsula? Any ideas of what happened to the previous Roadwarden? I've lost my rope, could you spare one? What happened to your squad? How did you become the Lieutenant, Julia? What was your squad's mission? Anything that you know about this camp, and if you were me, where would you go next? And it says, before I continue my journey, I need to ask them about the peninsula, the Roadwarden, and the rope. Okay. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I guess it would be 3-4 days? When you confirm, she continues, from here you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. You know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Hovlavan officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travelled to the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade, and to play dice. Ooh, some gamba action. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and, well... He turns towards Julia. She lowers her voice. Don't take this the wrong way, Andalono, but are you a devout soul? Ah. Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both their good and evil deeds. So I'm part of the United Church. Or, for many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachings of an order of truth. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneumonia, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. And Oh no, there's two more. I have a strong connection to nature and spirit, and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan, or there's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. Ah. I feel like the United Church is literally just an all-encompassing thing. It's like, I want to deal with threats to nature, and I want to deal with dark magic. And either be good, or, you're going to be bad, and bad things happen to you. But I kind of like the idea of this pagan one. I follow the path of my ancestors, and some of my beliefs could be considered sinister and treacherous. Nature and spirits, sure. A pagan roadwarden? The man scratches his head without the slightest subtlety. Now, I am sure we can have a conversation. We're civilized people, the lieutenant clears her throat. I'm from the United Church, but I'm not a priest or anything, and definitely not a zealot. An awkward pause. The United Church has spilled the blood of countless pagan tribes, making it clear that who's not with them is against them. Your family shared gruesome stories about the atrocities committed by the priests against your ancestors. Yeah, I'm not looking for any squabbles right now. The people here are disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan. I don't think so. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic, pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak to these necromancers? How about the East? Any monster worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? Or that's all I need to know. I would like to know if there's any monster in here that could catch my mount. Shadowmane. I'm going to call you Shadowmane. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, owlers, wolves, spiked boars, mufflon eaters, griffins. But we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Julia glanced at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. I can't. Don't provoke them, and ride fast. Just count on luck. How about to the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We weren't there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. I'm not going to worry about this necromancer one. I think this is a little bit too, I almost feel like this is mocking them, and I don't want to, I don't want to rock the boat. That's all I need to know. Okay, so I need to know about the Roadwarden and the rope now. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, We saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If I had decided otherwise, we would have all died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Oh. Interesting. So if I'd come before them, I would have been dead. We would have ended here and now. Sounds like slave hunters. Julia sighs. Very much so. They killed some and took others away. Who knows where? They were letting the Northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked, adds the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage amongst them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road, saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived in the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he had to cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colourful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. You know what? You've made it safer. You've done as well as you could do. Barely. Julia seems tired. And who knows if it was worth their lives and effort. If you were me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there, but this is Julia now. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more travelled, mentions Julia. But the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good first impression with him? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Okay. So I'm not going to ask about how did he become the lieutenant. I can imagine everyone else has died. You've basically just assumed the position. I don't know what they were up to, because already Julia says that she wants to, keep certain things secret. I'm only unsure about this one. Anything I should know about the camp. I am a bit aware that I might be eating into my, sleeping time. And even Julia's sleeping time. But I'll ask about the camp. The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys, just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travellers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralysing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here whenever you want, the man concludes their tale, though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. Okay. What happened to the previous Roadwarden? Julia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost a year. Sorry, half a year even. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit here sometimes, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on the wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Asterion never gets bored. Julia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Who was Asterion? Oh, I guess he was the warden, sorry, I understand now. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in the basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him, or his Saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged, meat-eating Saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but, unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Julia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Asterion's stuff. Wait! She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hofleven. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So do you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs in resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovlaven together. You think about your real mission. You're planning to return to Hovland in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'll spare you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears a mail, uses a spear, mostly. Maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long, red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. He's a dwarf. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left, just let me know. Okay, so my journal has a list of quests. So find the Roadwarden. Before I became a Roadwarden of the Peninsula, a man known as Asterion used to patrol these roads. If I manage to find out what happened to him and bring the news to Chuli from Southern Camp, I'll receive his abandoned belongings. Sweet. Okay, and we've lost our rope. Can we have a spare one? You're in luck. She heads toward one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down in a chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. That sounds, honestly, perfect to me. I take a closer look. A fine rope. A regular rope made of hemp fibers. Costs 0 to buy. I take it and offer some food in return. Or I can buy for 0. I'm going to need my food, I think. So, I'm just going to take the kind gesture. Julia nods. For now, you leave the rope on the table. I know everything I need. Are you sure? Says the bearded man. We may not be around the next time you come here. We should prepare for the night anyway. I agree, Julia sighs with relief. And may you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant, she winks at you. Shattering the mask of a soldier. Shattering? Oh, okay, I get it, sorry. Shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. You go to the barrel and splash water in your face. What makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath? After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lie down. I prepare for my watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud were-elk that keeps smelling the wall, though it's never tried to get in. He points at the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets gold, feel free to make a fire, and the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? I see no watchtower in this picture. He gives you a long puzzled look. Oh, here. He points at a pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one, and you'll have a great view at the northern side. The more dangerous side, and also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points to a tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple of hours sleeping on the ground if you wish. Go there after me and rest. Just this once. At least I have a pallet inside. You know what? I smile. Thanks a lot. Okay. I think I'm going to call this part here. If you want to see any more of it, let me know in the comments below. This is Roadwarden. It's on Steam right now. Text-based RPG. I think, I'm going to just quickly check this. Yeah, it's currently discounted. It's £7.46. 10% off right now because, you know, early release, I guess. So if you want to get it now and save that 10%. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.